Hi there, and welcome to my channel. Normally you see me, but what you're going to be seeing now is my sketchbook. I have just finished all of the pages in this sketchbook, and so we're going to go through real quick and see what I've done. This is about 1 year's worth of stuff. I've pulled some things out, and there's other stuff that I've done in different sketchbooks, but this is 1 year in my little XL multimedia. And I'm just gonna, real quick, this sticker I found on the floor at DEF CON. This is a sticker my friend Muriel made for me, which is just adorable. So, but yeah, let's get started. So, first thing, I've got this little demon guy. We're back. This was the beginning of my Inktober 2016. Oh god, I hope that's in focus. Yeah, that's the first thing I did for Inktober 2016. After that, I've got more Inktober stuffs. This lady and these characters. This is for Goblin Week. Sorry, I'm looking at my thing upside down. This lady was an Inktobering. As was she, her. This was for a tentacle theme. And this is multiple Inktoberings on one page, so we've got a little, this is all upside down to you, okay. So we've got like a Jack the Ripper kind of character, we got these little goblins, and we've got like a Grim Reaper Dementor kind of character. More Inktober. I've got my Bite Me spider and some puppets that I actually didn't like at all. I didn't like these dummies. Then a demon. I hope this doesn't get me in trouble with YouTube because she's got a lot of titties. I'm not going to try to read what it says because I wrote it all fucky. Then I've got, I read this wrong. It was supposed to be Foggy Bog, and I read it as Froggy Bog, which is why this lady's carrying a little frog through a bog. Then I didn't get that Thursday the 13th was supposed to be a Friday the 13th joke, so I just did this fun, cool, like, twisty thing. And there was a Hunchback theme, so I did Kierkegaard, because I didn't want to get too into Hunchbacky stuff. It's a little kind of Van Gogh-inspired sketch for Scarecrow, and then I think the theme for this was just monsters, but I decided that this is a triad, and they're a fun little group of monster 20-somethings who like to bone. This is just somebody, oh god, I can't remember her name, Ruby Etc., the artist, in 2016 said nothing's allowed to happen for the rest of 2016 unless it's a cake or a dog, so here are some dogs around cake. Then I've got this werewolf. I'm still trying to get my hands adjusted to this, but this nice little werewolf and a mad scientist. I like drawing tentacles, in case you couldn't tell. Oh, that's going backwards, okay. This is for the theme Witchcraft, which this one was as well, but I decided not to go with it because it's kind of depressing. But here's a vampire that I did, kind of Nosferatu based. You're going to see another Nosferatu later on. Backwards again. And some of these are on facing pages and everything, but some of them aren't, I promise. Got Headless Horseman was the theme, so I've got Headless Horseman. This was for Freaky Phantom, I think. Phantom of the Opera thing didn't make a hell of a lot of sense. This is for Batter Day, a nice flying fox, and Superstition. This is upside down for you, yeah. Superstition, so I've got a guy whose path is being crossed by a black cat. There was an android who showed up. I think I named her Judy. And then I've got this vampire in a coffin, and this little NB freaking out about the fact that there are some aliens on their broom. Then I've got Gadabout Ghouls, and I was like, that sounds like go-go dancers to me. So I've got some go-go dancing ghosts. There's another cat theme, so here's another cat. I actually really like this. I'm quite pleased with how this came out. I used a pink pen to outline because it looked cool. And then this is a drawing of silhouette of Grace Jones, because Grace Jones is a fucking badass. But once again, getting some colored pens out there. And then just a nice little drawing of me and my husband to kind of finish out that Inktober month. Then I drew this after the election, and everything was miserable. And then here's a little self-care list of how to handle shit after the election because everything was miserable. A little comic that I did real quick about my niece and nephew staying over. Some illustration things that never came out. This was character sketches for a comic that I was submitting to an anthology that I got rejected for. I'm still kind of working on that. Some more sketches back here. This is some bullshit that I'm going to cover up, but this was for the Dr. Ferox Tumblr, which was a cute little story that I decided to illustrate about a goth who has a rabbit named Loki. Then I just, some Amber Riley sketches that are so light in pencil that you probably can't see them. Just some quick studies. Illustration of Emma Thompson, because I love her. Okay. A drawing about a joke with the difference between vest and pants and what those words mean in the U.S. and in England. So they mean different things. So vest and pants in the U.S. and vest and pants in England. Marge Simpson is a magical girl. I felt like that, and so I made it. I actually, this is one of my favorite things in the sketchbook. This is a fun drawing. I've got a chubby pinup girl because bigger women are kind of hot. Like yeah. I just kind of like all women. Let's be fucking real here, but like, I like big girls. It's fun to cuddle, and I'm a bigger girl myself. This is a raven that I did in kind of a line arty style that I've actually sold as a pin. There's a unicorn skull that is one of my favorite things that I've drawn this year. That's also available as a pin and a sticker and a shirt and things like that. And I really want to get my screen printing kit set up so that I can screen this onto like a back patch. And I've got a kind of eel-based mermaid, just aggressively sea creature-y. Oh no, I'm going backwards. Here's a pun on Husker Du with Dale from Twin Peaks, so it's Husker Dale, and I've rewritten the lyrics to the song Diane by Husker Du because I love that song and I love Twin Peaks, so just kind of fucking geeking out there. And then I've actually got a blank page on the back of the unicorn because I didn't want to potentially fuck it up. It's a joke about narwhals from an episode of My Favorite Murder. And then it was Smoggist, so I've got these wee little dragons that I did for Smoggist. But I don't like them very much. However, this one I like an awful fucking lot. This is my pangolin. It's a pangolin dragon, and it looks fucking awesome. Then I was just kind of testing out some markers that I still don't super know how to use. This is one of my Inktobers from this year. I watercolored some of them, but yeah, I think that was skulls or swords. I don't even remember what that was. No, that wasn't skulking around. It's a little 4-panel comic about anxiety. Okay, these are weird. I have a friend online whose handle is Argumate and who apparently likes owls, and for some reason it came up that an owl tarantula hybrid would be horrifying, so I made that happen a little bit. So owl tarantula hybrid, and then I tried it the other way, and it didn't work super great. So I don't like that one quite so much. Here's another selection of concept art for a comic that I submitted to an anthology that I did not get accepted to, because I didn't get accepted to fucking anything I submitted to this year. Then I've got 2 more of my Inktoberings. This is Knife to Meet You, and this is Cool Cat. So I didn't color all of them. I didn't finish Inktober this year because shit came up. But I've got a bunch of Inktober stuff. This is Skulking Around. I actually really like this. This might be one of my favorites. Owl Inn is another, and I was going for an American traditional tattoo flash style. So these are ones that I actually did more recently in the last couple days. and it's Evil Eagle and Pumpkin Die. The eagle didn't end up actually being evil, but it's got a nice banner that says Jingoism fucking sucks, and I just like the concept of Pumpkin Die. Okay, this is my other little Nosferatu. I was telling you would see another Nosferatu. This is another one that I'm very fucking happy with. I think he came out great. And then I think that this mermaid came out great as well. She's fantastic. She's so awesome. Then a blank page with a stupid joke about cat folder. Heartless up here is just a lady cutting out her own heart. Ghost Buskers is a terrible pun about ghosts. And I like terrible puns, so there are some terrible visual puns in here as well. There's a cool snake coming out of a skull, and this was supposed to be Scary Sparrow, and it just sort of became a mess. It didn't go super great. Spider Queen is this lady up here, and this is I was a teenage werewolf or something like that. This might be my favorite thing that I've done this year. I love this badass bad dog werewolf guy. He is just a hell of a lot of fun. Lucky 13 was crap. I don't like the way that came out. I'm a fan of the YouTuber It's Black Friday, so here's a drawing I did of It's Black Friday as a witch. She's pretty cool, and I also am quite pleased with the way that this drawing came out in this style. Pool shark. So I've got a pool shark with an 8-ball, and a toothy terror, I think this was. So I drew a scary lady with some shark teeth. And nope, that's backwards again. I'm so confused. This is like 4 on one page, but at least I think they're facing the same direction. This was great. I don't know, a horrid haunting. Something about witches. I really like this Howl at the Moon drawing. This is a cute little bat that's about the size of a stamp. Sorry, keep trying to figure out where my progression is. These are a couple pages that I was working on. What happened in October is that my uncle died, so I started doing a bit of a comic about what my uncle was to me, but I got too sad, so I had to stop, so I made this lady instead. And she's kind of a monster. She's got a split tongue, and she's vomiting out diamonds and hearts and stars. But I think she came out pretty cool. Here's a Lady Hawk illustration, because I like the movie Lady Hawk. And then I made a fucking sad comic about all of the sexual assault allegations that are coming out and how fucking exhausting it is to deal with thinking about that. Because it's fucking exhausting. But now I'm down to my last 2. So this is something that I made as a present for my friend Alex, because Alex is fucking awesome. And he plays guitar, and he seems to be pretty into Disney, so I've got Mickey Mouse playing guitar. And then the very last thing is my last Inktoberring, which even though it's now December, I finished up. It was Skeletal Saints was the last prompt that I was going to work on. So this is my Skeletal Saint in sort of an American trad flash style. So this is a skeleton who's kind of based on illustrations of St. Jude, because St. Jude's the patron saint of lost causes, and a bunch of other shit. St. Jude's the patron saint of so much shit. But I like lost causes. I support a lot of lost causes, and it seems like worthwhile use of my time. So wanted to make my skeletal saint something that I could relate to. And that's it. That's a year of art, and going from this at the very beginning to this at the very end, like you can see there's been some pretty significant progress made. And I'm just gonna keep flipping a little bit through. Like, I feel like I've done a good job of like working on art this year. Especially this unicorn. I love this unicorn. But it's just really rare for me to finish an entire sketchbook. So I kind of wanted to show that off. Like, I've done a lot of things I'm proud of, and being able to look at a book and say like, okay, I did it. I finished it. I filled these pages, and they're not all filled totally front and back, but I've put a lot of stuff together, and I'm pretty pleased with that. I still can't even tell if you're seeing this upside down or not. Sorry, you may be. But yeah, I feel pretty good about this little sketchbook and what I've done this year. And I just do things. Go out there in the world and accomplish things. Like, do things that make you happy. Do things that you like to look at. Do things that are comforting to you, and have a skill that you can improve at, if at all possible. It's just fantastic to be able to see yourself making progress at something. Like, if nothing else, you can look at what you've done and say, like, well, I've worked on something. I've done something this year. I've made something. I've shared these things that made people happy. I've made gifts for friends. Like, just have something that you can point to and be proud of for yourself, for nobody else. Like, my art doesn't really sell, and I don't really make any money off it, like sometimes some pins and stuff, but it's for me. Though I am available for commission. If you do want to buy art, you can talk to me. But just do something that makes you happy, please, because it's sometimes the only thing that makes it easy to get through a day is knowing that you've done something that added to the world. So that was a bit rambly, but I just wanted to share. I've already got my replacement sketchbook, totally brand new. Nothing in it yet, but hopefully I'll fill that up pretty soon. Hopefully it won't take a full year and 2 months for me to fill up the new book. But yeah, make things. I'll talk to you later. Leave in the comments the kinds of things you make. Talk about what you do. I want to hear about your hobbies. I want to hear about the skills that you like improving, even if it's something like whistling or crocheting or just improving interpersonal skills or something. Talk to me about what you do, because what you do matters. All right, I'll catch you all later. Bye.